Hog EXE Nado, my personal favorite deck right now. The goal of your existence with this deck is to counter and defend the entire game. Whenever they go in, you're going to use your troops to defend properly and then use those troops after they defend the push to attack. Not going in with your Hog Rider. Leading to why this deck is so difficult. Whenever I play the game, I want to play aggressive occasionally, but with this deck, you pretty much can never do that because you will get punished for it. Keep in mind that you also have to track their troop timing and cycle. Say they have Evo Mega Knight, they place it down, you play your Evo Valk, it pulls it towards your tower. And now there's an Evo Mega Knight smashing away at your tower. Whenever you place one card incorrectly, it could lead to you losing the entire game, making this deck one of the most punishing decks as pretty much there's no margin for error. Each card in your deck plays a role for a greater defense that leads you to being able to counter push properly. There is no building in this deck, but because of that, your offensive potential grows exponentially. Starting off with your win condition, the Hog Rider. Unlike cycle decks, this card won't feel as oppressive when you're using it. It's mainly used to jump in front of your Executioner, to act as a counter pushing unit. The main reason behind playing the Hog Rider is to get chip damage and to force out your opponent's counters. Other than that, it makes it so if they have a building, they have to play the building to be able to counter it, meaning they can't use that same elixir to go in on offense. Leading towards the rocket. The reason why you're going to want your opponent to spend elixir on defense is so that you can rocket cycle their tower and get away with the cheaper defense. The rocket will bail you out on defense, but use it cautiously as it is insanely hard to not miss this occasionally. Other than the fact that the rocket will bail you out and one-shot certain troops, you need to focus on using this to do damage to your opponent's tower. In 2x and 3x elixir, sometimes whenever you have a full bar, you can actually just rocket if you have an Evo EXE down and basically control of the battlefield so that your opponent can't punish you for just throwing 60% of your elixir bar at bridge. The three main functions of the log, starting off with chipping down your opponent's tower and cycling it so you can get back to your evolutions. Think about trying to get your Evo EXE back on defense. Next up is resetting troops like your Prince's Dash and buying yourself a little bit of extra time to be able to get that one extra Executioner axe on the Prince to be able to kill it. And the last function is going to be to damage troops so they're not going to be able to deal as much damage to your crown tower. Next up, the Ice Spirit. Obviously, this one elixir card is used to cycle, but its main purpose is to distract and reset units. Examples of stalling and distracting is for the Mega Knight. It will jump towards the Ice Spirit, and then the Ice Spirit will in turn jump on it. Since you got the Mega Knight's jump out by using the Ice Spirit, now it will walk towards your Executioner instead of jumping on it, buying you some extra time to kill it. Next up, the Goblins. The most underrated part of this deck, especially how they can DPS stuff like a Hog Rider, only allowing 2 hits comparatively to skeletons. And then on top of that, they don't die to zap and other small spells except for log and bar barrel, meaning that you'll be able to get way more value on defense as you will force out bigger spells. And on top of that, you're going to be able to surround troops a little bit differently as you do have that 4th goblin comparatively to the 3 skeletons. The Valkyrie's main purpose in this deck is to be a mini tank for your troops, not allowing your opponents to break through and buying you precious extra time. On top of that, it full counters a Goblin Barrel if placed behind the Crown Tower in this placement with good timing, and it synergizes well with the Tornado to take out those pesky swarms. The Executioner is my personal favorite part of this deck, especially it being the bread and butter of what makes this deck tick. Starting off with how it is so good on defense that you can reliably sit on an Evo Executioner and just be able to rocket cycle, but because you have this on the field, you're able to survive pretty much whatever your opponent throws at you. And the final card, the Tornado, my personal favorite spell in the entire game because of 2 features. The first part is King Tower activations. This makes this deck so oppressive on defense as you can full counter a Hog Rider by pulling it towards your King Tower. Perfect placement, not getting a single hit on your Princess Tower. There's other activations like pulling a Lumberjack, Mini P.E.K.K.A, or Skeleton Barrel as well. You need it really badly as it changes a lot of major interactions for this deck and will make your life 10 times easier when defending. And the second part of what makes this deck so oppressive is that you can use the Tornado on defense to be able to lump pretty much everything together, and your Evil Executioner will go to work, pretty much killing their entire push. On top of that, you can use it to force chip damage with your Executioner, as you can make a lineup so it can get some damage with its axe on their tower. Another thing I want to mention is if they play a if Another thing I want to mention is if you play a spell and they play another card, you can actually tornado that card into towards the spell, killing it, say a firecracker into a log, or you can tornado a witch into a rocket. Leaking Elixir is probably the most misunderstood part of this entire deck. Starting off, you can leak till double or even triple Elixir, as your defense will grow exponentially. The next part about Leaking Elixir is that coming into certain matchups, you'll actually just want to wait and just not play a single card, as you need pretty much every card to counter them. Think P.E.K.K.A. bridge spam, you're going to want to play your Executioner into towards the P.E.K.K.A. and be able to have pretty much all of your small units to deal with their bridge spam cards, the Bandit, the Ghost. And the next reason you're going to want to leak Elixir is because if they play their counter to your Hog Rider in the back, you're going to be able to go in with that Hog pretty much immediately. If you see here, I placed my Hog Rider at bridge because he played his Mega Knight in the back respectively, meaning that his only counter is going to be the cannon, which I can log to be able to guarantee at least one hog hit on his tower. The main way you want to go about playing this deck is testing the waters to see what your opponent's got. You can log, you can Ice Spirit, but other than that, you pretty much don't want to play any other cards unless you need to play them in response. The main reason I would play my Ice Spirit or my log is so that I can get my Tornado back closer into my hand, so I can get that King Tower at pretty much any cost. After figuring out what your opponent has, you're going to want to defend as cheaply as humanly possible, so that you're able to get some rocket chip or Hog Rider hits every now and then. You pretty much won't take their tower till the end of the game. You need to find out, do I need a counter push? Do I need to go opposite lane? But once you figure that process out, you're mainly just going to want to go for those rockets, those hog hits, or any sort of damage. The main points of this deck is you win through chip damage, you never want to overspend, and you want to make sure you have the proper counters to their cards in cycle. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. My goal is just to simplify the game for the average player to be able to understand and win more games.